I'm live. Okay. Welcome to the channel and thank you for being here. Sorry I look like such a mess. I'm actually here to let you know I'm not gonna do a reading today because I need some rest. um, I did get my test results back and I got good news. They told me that it was not cancer, but they said it did look like I could possibly have bone marrow cancer. So I have to have a bone marrow biopsy on Tuesday, and I'll find out the results of that probably the same day. Hey, Shretha. Hello. Hey, Serendipity. How are you? Bless you. Say hey, sweetheart. I'm not gonna do a full reading today because I am exhausted, like you would not believe exhausted. Um, but I come on and let you guys know what is going on because it's not like me not to video every Saturday. I didn't get sleep last night. I slept maybe about 2.5 hours. Hey, whoo, yeah, the energies are very heavy, very, very heavy right now, and we're getting ready to have this new moon coming up in a few days. So I will probably do a new moon reading tomorrow once I get some rest. I also wanted to show you guys that I got us some new cards. These are actually made by the same person that makes these. These are the ones I use to get yes and no answers and stuff like that. But these are a little different. In fact, I might pull one of these for us before I close. And I have a very big surprise for you all. Thank you. I accept that. Yes, thank you so much, Shretha. I have Goddess of Love Tarot, and it says, whether you're new to Tarot or a longtime enthusiast, this Radiant 78 card deck and companion book are for anyone who wants to empower themselves through a deeper relationship with the Goddess of Love and sex in all her manifestations. So we're going to start having readings about sex. How does that sound to you guys? I got a deck for that. I've been noticing we've been needing it. And I'm really excited about these angel cards that I got. Let's do a real quick reading. I don't have a lot of energy, so I'm not going to push myself. But let's have a short little reading. And hey, Freak, what's up? Hey, Carly. Thank you, guys. Hey, Lucifer, what's up, baby? Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. I look like I haven't slept because I haven't. Hey, Balber and Nicholas Harshit. I'm trying to read your names. Rowan, Karen. Welcome to you all. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, okay, you guys? Typically, I do a full reading, which is about 30, 45 to an hour long. And that's the general reading. Hey, the last trumpet. I'm good, baby. I'm good. Oh, and I found a deck of cards called the Christ Consciousness. And I'm going to be purchasing those when I get my next paycheck. I'm so excited about those. They're made for all teachings, not just Christian. But they do help you to learn how to live a Christ-centered conscious life. So I think those will be good for the channel also. Hello, Cactus. Hey, Paul. Hey, Balibar. Hey, Vicky. How can you earn money? Get a job. I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'd have to ask Spirit. That's how I earn my money. All right, let's pull a card real quick just to see what virtue Spirit's working on in our collective. patience. Sagittarius is here. You might be a Sagittarius, or you might have one in your life. But Spirit is saying, be patient. I think Spirit is saying, be patient with the reader. The reader needs self-care and is going to have to take some self-care. And tomorrow when I come back, I will be happy to answer as many questions as you have. Also, we have kindness. So we have patience and kindness. That's beautiful. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have being content. So yeah, I think this is about waiting for tomorrow's reading. And it may be about some other things going on in your life. What spiritual gifts are operating in this collective spirit? At home. Spiritual gifts at home. Oh, wow. Some of you have a baby. This can be a project. This can be a real baby. This could be like a new love in your life. You're going to be traveling at home or going home or something to that nature. You're meditating on things. You're really thinking deeply about what's going on right now. And you're listening to your music. You love your music. You can probably talk to someone in your life in song titles. Sound familiar? That's home life. All right. What about work life? Or how you're working in our lives? Spirit is working on aligning our chakras and also giving us wisdom. See, hear, and speak no evil. So we're being encouraged to see, hear, and speak no evil and be wise. And to also align our chakras. All right, what are our surprises? Our surprise is going to be an aha moment, an epiphany. You're going to realize something. Whoops, sorry. That phone don't work for some reason today. I don't know what happened. I think it did an update. All right, love life. Whoa. Look what came out in our love life. Coins. Somehow coins are part of your love life. Maybe you've met somebody who has a lot of money, or you're going to, or maybe you're going to get a new job that you love. I don't know. All right, and what's our role? Our role is numbers. Some of us are very gifted with numbers. So whatever it is you're doing with the numbers, keep doing that. Maybe it's the numbers on this channel going up. All right, and what's our outcome? Oh my goodness. The Lovers and a house. So you might be moving into a house with someone new. You might be starting a new relationship. You might be starting a new marriage, something like that. And on the bottom of the deck, we have the Tree of Life. So, yeah, I feel like you're going to meet somebody new. You're probably going to move in together. You're going to buy a house, or you're already with this person. You already love this person. Or you might just be choosing a house, like where you want to live. Excuse me. Yeah, that's beautiful. And this is all part of you being connected to all that is and your family. This is about your family tree. I want to know more about our aha moment that we're going to have. Spirit, how can I find out more about this aha moment? Let's pull tarot on it. Spirit, what's the aha moment we're going to have? May I see, please? The Ten of Wands and the Ace of Cups in reverse. So somehow there's going to be, that to me can sometimes be a miscarriage, or it can be separation of a new love. It looks like you're going to fight. You're going to have a fight with somebody new. Why would you do that? What's the aha moment? What's our surprise? Has something to do with new love. Something's painfully ending when it comes to new love. So you might think you're starting a new relationship with somebody and you're not. All right. What's the aha moment, Spirit? The aha moment. Wow. For somebody, the aha moment is going to be very, you're going to do something with a contract. You're going to sign a contract. This could be a marriage. It could be a project. It could be a job. It could be anything traditional with a contract attached to it. It's something that you're contractually obligated to. And it's going to bring you public recognition. Like, you're going to get publicly recognized for this contract. This could be a relationship that you get public recognition for. And somebody is going to be all in determined that this happened. Like, they are determined that they're going to be in this relationship or this partnership. It could be a partnership. Let's clarify. What's the Hierophant here? It's a King of Swords in reverse. Why is he reversed? Whoa. Because there's a Leo here who's in love. And somebody's getting knocked out of the competition. It looks like there was somebody else that you may have been considering having a relationship with at one time. And they could have been a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But there's a Leo here who is showing a lot of feelings for somebody. And it's knocking this King of Swords. This could actually be you. You could have felt like you were never going to have love again. And you're realizing that you can. And not only can you, but you're going to. You're determined to, and that it's going to be publicly recognized. Like, this is going to be something that you're going to tell people about. It's going to be, it could be in the news for some of you. Someone could have an artificial leg. Someone is a runner with an artificial leg. Someone lives near the ocean. You see the beach, and someone rides a motorcycle. Someone could also be a cop who rides a motorcycle. I'm seeing that in my mind. Someone has a statue. They've won some kind of award, some kind of globe, Golden Globe, or some kind of Emmy, Grammy, whatever they call those things. Or you could just have a statue of one for some reason. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Chariot. So you could also be getting a new car, or you could be traveling. And we saw that you were going to be traveling somewhere in your home life. Like you were going to go back home. So you might be driving home. Or you could be just overcoming something. Why is the Chariot on the bottom of the deck? Because, oh my God. The Chariot is you. This man right here, oh wow, he's going to have a relationship. This man right here has been miserable. Reverse any roles you need to. But there was somebody that had an air placement, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or there was a transit that came through and made you feel like you were never going to have love again. And you gave up on love. And now you are strong and you are seeing. You drink water. Somehow bottles of water are significant. Special shiny bottles of water with blue lids. Yeah. Somebody wears sunglasses and they have their hair highlighted. This is a masculine I'm seeing, but it doesn't have to be. These are general reads. But what you're doing is you're realizing that you're a king of pentacles and you're moving away from something so you can build a foundation with somebody else. You're leaving a situation behind. It almost looks like you're leaving behind a King of Pentacles to build a foundation. Why is the King of Pentacles being left behind? Because he's making a decision to be a fool, to start something new. Like, he is risking everything to be with somebody. And right now he is single. He's able to stand on his own 2 feet. This man has money. This man is wealthy. And he's determined. Why is his strength moving in the wrong direction? Because he's been through some hard times. He's been through some really hard times. And now he's making some growth. He's growing. He's making some changes in his life. Look, he's been hurt badly. This man's been hurt. And he's realizing that he wasn't going in the right direction. That he wasn't putting his strength in the right places. That he was wasting his energy on the wrong things. So he's making a decision now to start over. And he's going to announce this relationship. And it looks like maybe move in with somebody. That's what I see. Let's see. I'm just curious because I've never used these cards. I've never even opened them. Let's see what this relationship might look like sexually. Or what it might. I don't know how these work. I've never even opened the box. But give me a second and I'll see if I can get it open. And we're going to ask Spirit to show us what we need to know about this relationship sexually. But yeah, this person is finally going to be happy. They haven't been happy in a long time. They lost a lot. But it doesn't, like, it could have been a fire or it could have been a natural disaster for some. But it looks like to me that this is the inside of this person's life. Like, their life got literally turned upside down by something. Something hurt this person deeply. And they didn't deserve it, but it happened. And now they're growing from it. They're letting it actually bring growth to their life. All right, Spirit. I don't have a clue what I'm doing here. But let's use these cards. Because it looks like you're moving into a beautiful relationship. And I haven't seen who with, but it's different for all of you. We always, this could actually be a woman over here. The knights can be females or males. All right, I'm going to shuffle these one time. I've not read the book. All I know is they're about sex. This new relationship, what do they need to know about their sex life? What does this new relationship need to know about sex? I'm going to shuffle them a few times. What does this new relationship need to know about their sex life? Sex life for this new beautiful relationship I'm seeing. You're getting ready to build a foundation. You're getting ready to move in with somebody new. And you're traveling to get home. sex life for the new relationship. Thank you so very much, Spirit. All right, I got a few. I got the Sovereign, the Seven of Cups, Temperance again, yes, and the Eight of Cups. We're dealing with a Sagittarius for sure. All right, so I'm going to have to use the book because it looks like a standard tarot deck, actually. What would the Sovereign be? Is that the Hierophant? You hear Cosmo? Cosmo is saying, that's what's up. Mom knows what she's talking about. All right, where's the book? What did I do with the book? I'm so tired, y'all. What did I do with the book? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, let's see what the Sovereign means. What is Spirit saying here? Major Arcana. There's a couple major arcanas here. You're walking away from something because you're actually being patient too. You don't have any love for somebody. This is not somebody who's had a lot of sex, it doesn't look like. The Sovereign. I don't know what that means. I've never heard of that card. Bear with me until I can figure it out. Temperance. I got Temperance. All right, let's see what Temperance is saying. We're here to find balance between heart and mind, spirit and flesh, sex and love. This isn't about disconnecting from reality, but rather integrating dualities through unconditional love. Temperance offers that balance on one foot on the terrestrial and one on the celestial. So one on the physical and one on the spiritual. Mary was Jesus's most beloved disciple and embodied the energy of temperance in her commitment to love, sacred sexuality, and her beloved. She represents gnosis, not like Gnostics, gnosis. The realization of divinity through the self, heart, and communion with the divine. Surrender to the tides of life by aligning with the mysteries of the universe. Temperance invites in balance and grounding, finding a middle ground between two opposing energies, forcing choices of beliefs with the alchemical key that transmutes any blocks, forces, and patterns into wisdom, faith, and guidance. Make the mundane world part of your spiritual practice. Temperance also reveals the equilibrium between truth and perception, love and lust. It is the secret key of sex magic, or the use of sexual energy to transform in the esoteric realm and the potency of sexual secretions into esoteric realm. Temperance can be thought of as lunar and solar qualities of the self uniting in the act of sacred sex. When two opposing forces come together through the flesh, the search of something through the flesh in search of something greater. When reversed, temperance asks you to ground and go inward, but it's not reversed. So then it says, journal question. Where am I being asked to find balance between sex and spirit, love and lust, mind and spirit? Ritual. Spend time honoring a duality within you. You are not trying to reject either aspect, but find a middle ground. As you make self-love, feel these opposing forces coming together in divine pleasure. Breathe into this energy as you get to the peak of your energy. Feel them merging into something bigger and more embodied than the individual parts. As you climax, breathe this energy throughout your body. You can imbue the sexual fluid with results to integrate this intention into the physical realm. So you're turning even masturbation in this, because you're having to be patient to be with this person. So you may end up having to have some masturbation involved, and you're being encouraged, even in that, to blend the spiritual with the physical. And you need to look at where is love and where is lust. What part of your masturbation is love and what part of it is lust? Because even when we have self-pleasing, there's a part of it that could be pure lust. Or you could be thinking about someone you love. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you're being encouraged when you masturbate while you're waiting to be with this person to think about how much of it is love and how much of it is lust. Because if you have too much of either, then you're out of balance. And we're looking to make balance here, okay? All right, that's temperance. And we saw temperance with patience. You're having to wait to be with someone. You're either at a distance from them, or maybe they're just somebody who's not willing to give it up right away. And they're like making you work for it. And this person physically drives you crazy because the chemistry is off the charts. So that's what that's saying. I'm going to pull it together for you in a minute. Let me just get it all figured out, because this is all new to me. And I don't know what the sovereign is. That is really blowing my mind. I'm not seeing it either. It's not in this standard. Not unless it's being called something other than what we know it as. So far, I'm not seeing it at all. There's the Hierophant, the Emperor, oh, you know what it could, no. The Magician, the Fool. Why am I not seeing the Sovereign? It's number 4. The number 4 is the Emperor, but he's not called that in this book. The Empress, the Emperor, the Sovereign. The Emperor is the Sovereign. This is the Emperor. We are dealing with the masculine here. So, this is the Sovereign. Goddess is Vesta. Astrological correspondence is Aries. One of the most sacred visions of the Goddess of Love is the invitation to step fully into your heart's power, not as an act of control or dominance over another, but in sovereignty and commitment to the self. So it is that the Emperor transforms into she who internalizes her power and devours it to something higher. The Sovereign is also the Virgin, who is sexually independent, who works with Kundalini and erotic energy, whose devotion extends to the flesh. Here, the Goddess of Love is Vesta, Roman goddess of hearth, home, devotion, and dedication, whose Vesta virgins guarded her eternal flame. Vesta represents sexuality turned inward into autonomy and personal power. This is your chance to reestablish a bridge to sexual expression in a way that is aligned with who you are. The Emperor is what turns us on. The Sovereign asks you, claim this force of your own terms. Devote your sexual energy to a higher purpose, a spiritual one. And see, that's what I've done with mine. I've decided to be celibate until I find the right person, someone who's going to be dedicated to me, who turns me on, and who I feel I can spend the rest of my life with, because I don't want to sleep around. I want to have a life partner. Okay? This is your chance to reestablish. So even if you haven't done that, this is your chance to start over. To reestablish a bridge to sexual expression in a way that's aligned with who you are. The Emperor is what turns us on. The Sovereign asks you to claim this force on your own terms. Devote your sexual energy to a higher purpose, a spiritual one. Reconnect to your sacred heart and sexual outside of a relationship with another. You hear that? Reconnect to your sacred heart and sexuality outside of a relationship with another, and honor this as an offering. Your erotic energy is yours, and you are your own lover first and foremost. When it shows up reversed, think about it. Power. If you're using it fairly and who you're giving it to, take your heart into consideration and ensure you're not abusing your authority. Affirmation. I am sovereign over my sexuality. I reclaim my erotic energy. Journal question. How can I honor my sexual and loving energy as my own, or dedicate it to something bigger? So you're being asked to dedicate in this relationship that you're about to be in. This sexual energy needs to first be your own, and you need to dedicate it to your spirituality, not to this person. You give it to this person because they turn you on, but you dedicate it to yourself and to your spiritual self, to your spirituality. Your sexuality is part of your spirituality, okay? Then we have the Seven of Cups, which we all know can be a little confusing because you have way too many choices. And it could be saying that you're somebody who has had too many choices. Now, how does that fit in with the current relationship? Let's see what we have: the 7 and 8, which is a progression, and then we have the 4 over here. All right, so the 7. If you've ever had a crush, then you know the sensation of new relationship energy. It's buzzing and electric. It makes you feel the limitless possibilities of connection. And although this vibe is exciting, it can also leave you off kilter or cause you to miss yellow or red flags. If there's NRE, new relationship energy, and you're having killer sex, you might be in what I call a fuck fog. Love and sex don't always leave you seeing clearly. And that's the message of the 7 of Cups. Honor your range of feelings and tune into your heart, always. But be wary of getting too caught up in the feelings about taking a reality check. This card can represent a fantasy world and deep longing, and you want to be sure that any relationship or situation is one in which words and actions are aligned. If it seems too good to be true, it may very well be. When the card shows up reversed, perhaps you're finally stepping out of this fantasy and seeing things for how they actually are. No matter what, remember that you still have the power to see clearly if you choose to step into the new perspective. Affirmation: I am guided by the truth and clarity, by the actuality of love and romance. Journal question: how can I shift my perspective to own all the facets of this experience without getting lost in the fantasy? So you're being told that you need to have ownership of your sexual energy and you need to dedicate it to something spiritual, and you do not need to be in a fuck fog. If you are, you need to step out of that. You need to get into reality, because a relationship that's built completely on sex will not last. A relationship that's built on a friendship will last. It has to start out as a friendship first. And the friendship has to begin with yourself. You have to love yourself first before you can love another person. And that's why you're being encouraged to deal with this Emperor energy right here. Bring your sexual energy to a place where it's part of your spiritual life, not just your physical life. Okay? That's important. And don't get caught up in the feelings of great sex and miss red flags. I don't suggest you get into the relationship sexually at all until you've had a chance to at least get to know the person well enough to know what those red flags are. You do what you want to do. I'm not here to judge you. All right, and then we know that temperance is balancing our spiritual and our physical. So when you're masturbating because you need to be with this person and you can't be, is it lust or is it love? These are the questions you need to be asking yourself in this new relationship that you're getting into. All right, now, for some reason we have the Eight of Cups, which is next. One of the core concepts of Buddhism involves refuge. You take refuge or find stillness, support, and clarity in the practices, in the path, and in the community of Sangha. There you find supportive experiences, relationships, or a place within yourself to be present in any experience. The release you're experiencing at the moment may be exactly what you need, but it can also be overwhelming. It's critical to honor the emotions presenting themselves, but be sure you're in a safe space to do so. This is where taking refuge comes in. Getting to higher ground, to a place of internal safety, is vital before you dive into the lessons or processes. What the hell just happened? This is a time of listening and tuning in. You aren't abandoning anyone or anything by taking a step back and honoring this present moment. When this card shows up reversed, it can mean that it's not time to leave yet, but it's not reversed. So right now, you're being encouraged, I think, because you've already begun and now you're in this sex fuck fog. You're in the fuck fog. You're in the fuck fog. You're out of balance, and you need to tie your sexuality with your spirituality, first and foremost. And then you need to make sure that it's balanced when you're masturbating, because you need to be with this person and you can't. And that you're not just masturbating. Or maybe you are with this person And it's not about the masturbation. It's about, are you just being with this person because you're horny and you need sex? Or are you actually in love with them? Because these two cards came out side by side, which makes me think that the Temperance card, for some of you, it could be about masturbation, and that Seven of Cups could be about you just trying to decide, you know, am I in a fuck fog? Like, do I just want sex? Do I just want this relationship because I want sex? Am I not even attracted to this person? That's what I'm seeing here in this spread. And it's okay for you to say, hey, look, you know, things got out of hand last night and I had a great time, but I need to take a step back. And I need to make sure that you're really who I want to be with, because this is not who I am. You know, you could have done something that wasn't even in, you know, your character. You could have slept with somebody on the first date, and now you feel some kind of fucked up obligation to be with this person. No, your obligation is to yourself. That's where your obligation is to, and to your spirit, to spirit. And spirit is encouraging you in this relationship to make sure that you, first off, that your spiritual life and sexual life are together, or that they're one. That is soulmate vibes. That's twin flame vibes. That is special. Okay? And then you don't want to get in bed with a person too quickly because it's lust. So then you need to look at whether it's lust or love, and you need to take a step back to do that. Because as long as you're still having sex with this person, you can trick yourself into thinking that this is love. And you don't have a clue what love is. All right, then we have the Four of Cups. I hope you guys are enjoying this and that you'll let me know by liking it. Thank you for the likes. It's wise to reassess the gifts you've been given before you reject them as not enough. It's one thing to be realistic. It's another to be unsatisfied with what you've got because it doesn't liven up your internal hype or expectations. If you turn down an offer because it doesn't align with an ideal image, you're turning your heart away from the goddess anxiety. You're turning your heart away from the goddess. Anxiety and fear around relationships or expressions in intimacy and affection may stop you from recognizing how good you have it or how good it can be. There's a time and space to be a brat, but maybe it's not right now. Sometimes what the goddess sends you isn't what you want, but what you need. Instead of focusing on the negative, on what you don't have, breathe into it. Take a step in releasing the narratives and find more supportive ones instead. When this card shows up reversed, you're already doing the work. You've had the paradigm shift that's given you space to see things in a new light. Now the work is living. It is an embrace, and you're embracing it. I trust in the unfolding of love and abundance that the goddess is making available to me. Remember the coins in your love life? How can I see from a new perspective where abundance, sex, and love are already available? And if we go back to the original tarot deck that we have on the table, over here, the Hierophant came out with you having a relationship. This is a relationship like a marriage, a long-term commitment that you feel like you're determined. Okay, either you've already gotten this person or you're determined you're going to get them. And when I asked why was the Hierophant here, I got the King of Swords in reverse. Which means this is somebody who's been unhappy with their relationship for a very long time, or with a lot of relationships for a very long time. And I said, why is he in reverse? And it's because he's realizing that he was taking his strength in the wrong direction. Or she. Like I said, this person drinks bottled water. They had a lot of bad misfortune in their relationship. And because of this misfortune, it's caused them to grow. And the growth is what we just read about. That's the growth. That's why when you get into this new relationship, you're going to be willing to take a risk and to walk away from someone who maybe has money, because you were only in it because they had money. And it was a horrible, horrible relationship. And now you're rebuilding a foundation. Who are you rebuilding this foundation with? Because you're determined to do it. Somebody who's generous in their giving. All right. Full moon's significant. Sunflowers are significant. And somehow bells or a necklace or something that's made out of some kind of beads. Beads are significant. There it is. There it is. This is going to be a fair and generous relationship, because one person is not going to be doing all the work. It's going to be fair. Both of you are going to have something to bring to the table. Now, look, there he is, the Emperor, again. This is a divine masculine. Okay. Does this mean that both of you are going to have a lot of money? Maybe. It could also mean that one of you is going to have a lot of money and the other one is going to have a lot of compassion and a lot of support and a lot of all the things that you need so you can continue to make money. Because a good man that has good money has a good woman behind him. And that's what you're going to have. You're going to have a new relationship, it looks like, that's balanced and fair. And it's because you're not going to hop right in bed with this person. And if you have, you're going to take a step back and you're going to look at the situation and you're going to make sure that it's balanced. Because you need to have your sexuality and your spirituality tied together. Because you are a spiritual being who is a sexual being, which means they're tied together, right? You can't separate them. And if you're just in a fuck fog all the time, you're neglecting your spiritual self. Lovemaking should be an act of worship. Period. And if it's not, then you're not balanced. Okay? All right. The Emperor on the bottom of the deck. Why is he on the bottom of the deck? What's he up to? He is being patient to succeed. He's working on something. He's coming up with a strategy. But he's having to be patient. We see patience over and over and over again on this table. And then we have the Hangman in reverse. Why is this Hangman in reverse? We keep getting this a lot. There's your desire. You have a very, very strong sexual energy. But if you're not careful, it's going to end up being empty. You've got to make sure that you do the things I just suggested to you. You're coming up with a strategy. You're being patient. You're even doing some risky things, which we saw you're the fool. That's the risk taker. They have total trust in the universe. But look at this Knight of Pentacles. He moves slow, but he acts stupid sometimes. I mean, what the hell is he doing on a high wire, standing on the motorcycle? We saw him sitting on it here. But he's going to stand on it to try to get this money where he wants it. Throat chakra. Don't do dumb shit. And you could get there a lot faster if you would just put the motorcycle on the ground and go where you're supposed to go. But this person, you know why they're immature? You want me to tell you why they're immature? A lot of times. Because their dad had a lot of money and never taught them responsibility. And so they don't know what work ethic is or hard work is. They inherited it from their dad. And they're constantly doing dumb shit. Constantly. And then we have the Hermit in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So you're not even thinking. You're just doing something. What is this Hermit? What does this Emperor need to do different? Because you're acting okay. There is your aha moment, your tower, right there. So you're going to realize what you need to do different. What? Show us. You need to manifest happiness where you've been unhappy. So you need to make some serious changes in your life where you're unhappy. You need to manifest happiness. And that's what you're going to realize. That you don't have to be unhappy. Look, and this can lead you to everything. And it may not be who you want. That might be the problem. Is that who Spirit has brought to you, it may not be who you want. You may want somebody else. So you're not giving this person a chance. You may just be using them for sex. That's not fair. That's unfair to everybody. So you need to manifest your happiness. Okay? Alright, now I want to pull. Where is this Emperor at here? He's going through grief because he doesn't want to change. Okay. He's something happened last summer. Or in the summer in the past. Where he wouldn't change. And so somebody won't forgive him. There's no forgiveness. Or he won't forgive somebody else because they wouldn't change. There's unforgiveness being shown here. And they're going through grief because of it. They're hurting. Alright, where is this Empress at? Because I haven't seen her at all. She's understanding. What is she understanding? Big dreams. This person understands what's going on and they have big dreams. They may not be waiting for you. That might be why you're upset. Alright, and what's connecting these two? Being guided. Where are you being guided? Oh my God. to destruction. The two of you are being guided to destruction. What do they need to do differently not to be destroyed? Stop taking action. Don't take any action. Why not? Because the answer is yes to a fresh start in reverse, and somebody's going to learn their lesson. So you're being encouraged not to take action on something new. Not to say yes to something new. Why are you being encouraged? I know you're learning lessons, but why are you being... Because Spirit says, I don't want you to settle. So what do you want here? To learn your lesson. And what's that lesson? The 5D is teaching you to see your part in things because you're not... Look, there's Divine Feminine finally showing up. And she's upright. He was upright too. But let me say this. They were not from the same deck. So this is a... This is a Divine Feminine whose Divine Masculine probably did something unforgivable. And she's not going to be with him. So she's being given someone else's because theirs did the same thing. So what I'm seeing on my table right now is a Divine Masculine and a Divine Feminine who are being put together because whoever they were supposed to be with didn't choose them, or something happened to them, or something. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so what's going to be the outcome of this relationship? You're going to have the courage from Jupiter to take action on that new beginning, even though you don't have the desire. Why don't you have the desire? Because there's distance. So it's not that you don't have desire, it's that you can't have desire right now because there's distance. So you're going to take action to do something about that. What will be the outcome if you take this action? Rejection. Somebody's going to get rejected because they're living in their comfort zone. It's not looking good, folks. It's not looking good. What am I missing here, Spirit? Does it look like you were going to be with somebody? Somebody is not being vulnerable. You're not able to open up. Okay, so what should they do? You need healing when it comes to your abundance. Alright. And what else? You're going to retreat. Or, I'm sorry, regret something about children. There's going to be regret because of children. And you need healing in your abundance. Somebody stole money from you or took money from you. And you're not talking about it to anybody. Anything else we need to know here? You need that balance in your life that we talked about in your sex life. All right, anything else? You're not learning a spiritual lesson. What's the lesson? You're being warned that you're not learning it. What's the lesson? That somebody deserves a second chance. Or maybe not. Why a second chance here? Okay. Because Spirit is saying you need to back away from this person, the one that wants a second chance, because they have an obsession that you need to get away from. There's why you're going to be rejecting. You're going to reject this person. You're not going to give them a second chance. they're going to come to you and say, oh, you're going to regret this because we have these children together and I need a second chance. And you're going to say, you know what? You're obsessed, maybe with my money, and you need to let me get healing, not only in my sex life, but in my money. Anything else we need to know here? There's something that's not going on right now. What do you mean that's not happening here and now? Put away the computer. Why? Because you have to be patient, and you're not accepting that. You need to wake up. What do you need to do? Why are you having to be so patient? It's been coming out over and over. Because somebody needs stability. Somebody's money is funny. And there also needs to be trust. So I feel that somebody has not been honest with you about their money. They're lying to you about money. I don't know. Something going on with money, though. Because it keeps coming out. When things keep repeating themselves. And our original spread was patience with being content and being kind. And forgiveness also. All right, now let's see what the angels have to say, and then I'm going to close for today. These are new angel cards that I just purchased, and they're just like our other cards over there. By the same author, I mean. They're not the same. They're very different. They don't have the yes and no's, I don't think. These are messages from your angels. Messages from the angels for us today, Spirit. May I have messages from the angels for our guidance today? What messages do the angels have for us today when it comes to this reading that I just did? Messages from the angels. There we go. I am stronger than my sorrows. My hope and faith always prevail. Messages from Archangel Azrael. I am the healer of sorrows and loss. Allow me to bring you comfort and relieve anything weighing upon your heart. So some of us have that hurt. Remember I said at the beginning, I saw the Three of Swords. Somebody was hurt. You're going to have to heal from that relationship before this new relationship can be healthy. So make sure healing, doing the healing work, whatever that looks like for you. And I stand in my power and courage. I embrace the limitless possibilities that await me. Message from Archangel Ariel. I am the lioness of God, archangel of strength and courage. Call upon me for self-confidence to fearlessly face any situation. So whatever it is you're facing, you have the power. Call on Ariel. That sounds a lot like a Leo vibe to me. And I am deserving of vibrant health. Honor my body, and my body honors me. My message from Archangel Raphael. With my emerald green rays of light, I can bring your body and soul back into alignment for optimal health and balance. Amen to that. Because when they do my bone marrow biopsy, they're going to find out that it is, in fact, my autoimmune disease. Remember, I told y'all a while ago I have one that causes my skin and teeth problems with all of that. They're going to find out that that's what it is. It's just mimicking bone marrow cancer. I don't have bone marrow cancer. But I do have tumors on my adrenal glands, and that's caused from the, all of it's coming from autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease is terrible, and I want to be healed from it. I don't want to have to live with it. And right now, the doctors around here are 16 months out for making appointments. So I can't even get an appointment with the doctor to treat me for it. Anything else you want to say, Spirit, before I close? What is going on at home? Because something's going on. What is going on at home? Somebody's saying, fuck your feelings in reverse. So, they care about your feelings. Alright, what's being hidden? That your boundaries are trash. Remember, you need boundaries. Alright, and what's being shown? Shut the fuck up. Don't let it all hang out. You never keep shit clean. And you need to stop trying to control every damn thing. What's going to happen next? You're not going to send a picture. You feel like you're not enough. And it's not that serious. It is that serious. You're saying, I'm not stressed. It's not that serious. I'm good enough. I'm not sending you a text message. And maybe you're over it. And you're going to spend time with somebody new. It looks like you're ending your relationship because you found somebody new. Honestly, that's what it looks like. And I think this person did something to hurt you. I'm going to try to find out what they did. I know they did. I saw it. What happened here? There was a secret love, and it was time for you to say enough is enough with the secret love. All right, what was being hidden besides secret love? That it was the right time. The right time for what? For somebody to be trusted who normally wouldn't be trusted. So you were being trusted secretly that it was the right time. All right, and what was being shown? That somebody had a desire to win. They were showing support to a friend. And this person was desperate. What were they desperate of or for? Control. To get their fantasies under control. So your friend came to you and was like, I can't stop thinking about this person. I want them. And I don't care if they're married or not. I am desperate for this person. Alright, so what's going to be the outcome? Somebody's going to practice forgiveness. There's going to be an apology. And you're going to say, this was all in my head. So you're going to go into denial. What should they do instead? Don't trust your intuition. This is going to cause you burdens and you need to make a decision. What decision do they need to make? Ooh, that flew out. Come up with that strategy where you don't want to let them go and you want to reconcile with them. You need to come up with a strategy to let this person go. Because this person is having an affair. Or had one. Trust the plan. If you would leave this person alone, what would be your outcome? You would not lose hope and you would have a way out. Because your love is dying. This is a dying love. This person's screwing somebody else. I think your marriage is dying because you were screwing somebody else. I don't know, though. Reverse roles if you need to. Somebody was screwing somebody else. And it looks like you're getting ready to move in with somebody new. And you're being encouraged to change the way you look at sex. Are you pregnant? Is Sangrita pregnant, Spirit? Within the next few months. If you don't be assertive, I think that means like taking a, no need to worry. So, did you do like a morning after pill or something? North Carolina. You did something, and because you did that, you were you weren't assertive enough or something. Is she pregnant? I don't get it. I'm confused. Romance. What do you mean romance? It's not the right time. Are you lying to somebody? Reconsider. Ask for help from others. Yes or no, is she pregnant? Helpful people within the next few weeks. You might be, but you might not want this baby, and you might be planning on getting rid of it. That's what I'm feeling. From the very beginning, I was feeling some kind of like morning after pill, trying not to be pregnant. I don't think you want to be pregnant. And I think you might be, and you might need to get an abortion, or you're wanting to get one. Will you become a doctor? I'm not going to do but a few more questions. I'm tired, y'all. Well, I'm trying to see your name, baby. Sharon, become a doctor. If you ask for help from others, your grades aren't good enough to get scholarships. So you need to pull your grades up if you want to go to school for being a doctor. If not, it's going to cost you a shit ton of money. You don't have the money right now to be a doctor. And I think that means your grades need to get pulled up. If you want to be a doctor, you need to really work hard and ask for help from others. Okay? Alright. Is Missy supposed to stay? Opportunity. It's not up to you. Communicate clearly. Is she going to be able to stay? So you might not have a choice. Within the next few weeks, you'll be able to stay. It's not the right time. Will she have to leave? The situation will improve, and there's going to be improving health. Ask for help from others. So it's not a matter of if you can. I mean, it sounds like to me you don't really have a choice in the matter. Like somebody could tell you to get out. So don't do anything to mess yourself up. I'm not answering that question. I'm sorry. Okay. Last question, baby. Last question. If these fools don't stop asking me if I want to be a sugar mama, sugar daddy, I mean, sugar baby. I'm not a sugar baby. I'm an older woman. And I'm not a dumbass. I already know that what you're trying to do is get me to do something illegal to get you money. Because you're going to tell me you're going to send me all this fucking money and then tell me I got to send $200 before they can release it to my account. No, fuck you. Okay, excuse my language, but I ain't got time for that shit. And you don't either. You need help with your mental state, which is causing your broken relationship with your boyfriend. Can I please get guidance if there are signs of Anu and Andrew getting back together? All right, are there any signs of these two people getting back together? Compromise and reconsider. Are they getting back together? It's not the right time, helpful people. I don't think they are. I think you think they are. I think you're paranoid. And I think you need to go to the doctor and get back on your medication. I think you stop taking your medication for your mental health. And I think you need to go back and get back on it. I don't know what made you think you need to stop, but you don't need to stop. I'm a qualified mental health professional. I do this for a living. And the cards weren't giving me any indication that they were getting back together, but they made me think that you thought they were. Which could mean you're a little bit paranoid. So go back to the doctor and get back on your medicine, okay, baby? There's no shame in taking medicine. There's no shame in having mental illness. We all have it at some point in our life. Some of us just have more trauma in childhood than the rest of us. And I sense that you had a lot. You might want to get some therapy too while you're at it. All right, I'm going to stop there. Mohit, I'm going to answer one more for you, and that's going to be it. Should Mohit You're welcome, Lastone. You're welcome, baby. Should he break up with Minu? There's an opportunity. You might need to ask for help from others. What do you mean, an opportunity? A year from now. In the near future. Something's going to happen that's going to bring an opportunity. What's going to be the outcome of the opportunity? Somebody's going to reconsider and compromise. I don't think you're going to break up with them. But should he, it's not going to be up to you. They might break up with you. It's saying it's not up to you. Alright, y'all. I gotta have a break. I gotta take a break. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I'm so glad you're here. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel. Help me grow my channel, okay? I've been working on this for 6 years, trying to get this channel off the ground. Hype the video, like the video, all that good jazz. All right, give me a trinket for the collective spirit. What trinket would go perfectly with this reading? All right, I got an anchor. I got a skull. Halloween's coming up. I got a flower. I got a rocking horse for a baby. I got a cross. And I got a star. Somebody might be a star. Or this could be about the stars above. Okay? Alright, I'll pull one out of here too. What would you give me out of this one? Alright, I got the Phoenix Rising or Dragon. I got a piece of black tourmaline. You might need some protection. I got a piece of smoky quartz. You might just be into crystals. I got an Eiffel Tower. And no doubt, I got an arrow for that Sagittarius vibe. Because I don't know if there's a Sagittarius moon. I don't know what's going on with Sagittarius. But Sagittarius is strong in this reading. Alright, I love you guys. I appreciate you all. Thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to take a break today and get some rest. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to answer more questions, But I promise you that I will be back tomorrow early, and I'll answer all your questions, okay? And Kailash will be here to moderate. Take care of yourselves and do what you have to do when it comes to this relationship and the sex part, okay? Namaste. Mwah. Bye. I hear you, Otto.